Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Courtney, and today we're going to do a chair yoga flow. This practice will be accessible for most bodies. Please do modify as much as you need, as much as you can to make it safe for you. So first of all, you want to sit in a comfortable chair, most likely in a very stable space where you have either a yoga mat underneath you or just something that allows the chair to not move. And then if you need to bring the floor up to you, you can put something small under your feet, a yoga block, a hardcover book, whatever it is. Knees living even with those hips. A little adjustment, a little wiggle and sway until you start to feel the crown of the head lifting and lengthening toward the sky, any amount. The shoulder blades melting down away from the ears, any amount. And then once you're ready, continuing on, we're going to shrug our shoulders, inhaling. Exhale, loop them back and down. Take a few on your own, deep breath in. And let it out. Maybe starting with a sigh. Even one more. And then lick your lips, swallow. If it feels good, flutter them out, relax the face. Even again, if you need it. And then listening for an ocean sounding breath as we start to move our neck. So we're going to tuck the chin like we're saying a very slow moving yes. Passing through neutral, looking up toward the bridge of the nose, maybe toward the sky. Breathing in, breathing out. Take two more. And then you'll bring your chin level with the earth. And you're going to pass through a slow moving no, turning and looking over the shoulder. Building range of motion, but not forcing things. Inhaling neutral, exhale to turn. Ujjayi breath is this idea of a wave quality, an ocean sound that really comes from the diaphragm, the lungs. It's not nasally or stuck in the face, in the mouth. When we breathe in and out through the nose, we are purifying the air. Now after a few no's, come to neutral and tip your head toward one shoulder. Doesn't matter which way you start. Passing through neutral, you'll exhale and take it the other way. Anytime we're flowing, you can always slow it down. Staying with my cues, my movement, only when that feels right for you. And if that includes closing your eyes, do 1 to 2 more each way. Looking for more balance, more range of motion. Letting go of soreness and stress. Let's take our head and neck to neutral. Regrounding, a little wiggle, sway, rooting through the heels. Brighten the toes if that's available. And lifting through the belly, the heart, the top of you. And do purposely shrug on the inhale. Let that all go with your exhale. Now sweeping the arms out toward a T. Palms spin up. You do reach up any amount. Exhaling, hands pull to your heart center. Inhaling, sweep the arms, reaching through your fingertips, brighten the skin. Exhaling, hands to prayer. Now let's do a few, doing your best to create a little more space, but being kind to yourself, compassionate with yourself based on any limitations. And you might find over time there are these subtle or even big shifts physically and mentally. With that said, bring your hands together at your heart, referenced in Sanskrit as Anjali Mudra. You can separate the inner palm if that helps you create more space in the pecs, the chest muscles, the heart center as we often call it. Do allow for that shrug and then that complete release. And another breath or two setting your sankalpa. This idea of an intention or dedication for your practice today. One more inhale, drawing it in. And exhale, anything stagnant sitting around that thought, that intention. On your inhale, circle the arms, do reach out and up. Open to your right, stretching the chest open, fingers are bright jazz hand style. Reach the arms up and do twist left or whichever way you didn't go. Reach the arms up. And this time bring the hands back to Anjali Mudra at the heart. We'll do that again, changing the side that you start with. Inhale, circle the arms. Maybe opening left first. Inhale, sweep the arms. Opening right or whichever way you didn't, no big deal. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands do come down. Let's take one more breath, just observing. Choosing to soften, even flutter the lips if that's helpful. Nickname the horse breath. Now starting to release a little more tension in the lower body. If you can, you'll take your right ankle on top of your left thigh. And you want to stretch through that right foot, right ankle, maybe giving it a circle or two. If you need to help it with the left hand, you could. And then on your inhale, allow your right knee to move gently towards you. And as you exhale, do press it gently away, letting your torso stay tall. And this is a variation on pigeon. Or even a funky chair, depending how you look at it. Do 2 to 3 on your own, gently oiling up that outer hip and glute. All the muscles that sit around the lower back, the knee might also be affected. And when you press, avoid direct pressure on the knee joint. Try to bring it toward the muscly part of the leg. Another moment, maybe you're still circling the right foot, right ankle. Maybe you're just letting it spread and brighten. The idea is to not overstretch tendons or ligaments. That includes softening that whole left hip, left side if you can. After a good minute or so, we'll release and balance the body, sometimes including some wiggles and sways, rooting to rise. Maybe a shoulder roll or two, helping to stabilize the scapula on your back. And then do cross your left ankle on top of that right thigh if you can. Helping your body to move into it, including some rotations of the foot, the ankle. Maybe using your right hand to assist or massage. As you come back toward the outer left hip, you're going to use that left hand to move it away from the body, from the midline on the exhale. In turn, let it move towards you a touch on the inhale. Now it's a relatively small movement at first. It might get a bit bigger for the last cycle or two. You can keep oiling it up with this dynamic stuff. You can also stay in a hold, applying that little bit of pressure on the muscle, not the knee itself. And if you start to round down, do what you can again to lift up and get longer. Even if it's subtle, doing your best to breathe from the feet to the crown, from the base of your spine to the very top of your head. And again, it's a minute plus in total, maybe staying longer on the hip, the glute that feels like it needs it more. Reminding that bottom hip, bottom leg to do less if it can. And eventually you do let it go. Take a moment in neutral, rooting to rise, growing a little taller if possible. Big breath in. And let it all out. Now, if possible, heel toe your feet wide. So closer to a meter, a yard plus, if that's the language you speak. Noting that you're turning your feet, ankles, knees, and hips out about 45 degrees, maybe a little bit more if that's available without force. Take your right forearm toward your right thigh, and not on the knee itself, but more the muscly part of you. Left hand at the hip, and maybe this is what you're able to get, wrapping the chest up. A variation on the side angle. Maybe you're able to sweep that arm, taking it gently over the ear, behind the head and neck for more support. And if it's just too much to look up, do gaze forward or down. And moving toward your edge without pushing yourself too far, too fast. And let's take at least one more inhale. One more exhale. Rounding down through your feet, your sit bones, inhale it up. And I encourage an exhale or two to just relax, rock and sway, side two, forearm to the thigh. Opposite hand at the hip, even firming it gently down as you wrap the ribs up. And maybe this is what you're doing. This is your edge today. Maybe you're going a bit further, might be a lot further, by sweeping the arm. Grounding down to wrap it up, still looking up if your neck agrees. If it's best to gaze forward, down, even support the head to release it back a touch, do. And those bottom ribs, the bottom side of the neck are wrapping forward and up in turn. And you might need that reminder to relax your face, your jaw. Gradually climbing it up. And again, the exhale or two, relaxing. Little rock, little sway. We're gonna bring both forearms down. Pull the heart forward and through. Variation on goddess pose or temple pose. Maybe joining thumbs, first fingers if that's available. Gyan mudra. This idea of a wisdom seal. Gently draw the navel in for another exhale or two, connecting through the core. And then with the inhale, lengthen and lift to come all the way up. Exhaling at the top. Let's heel to the feet back in toward hip bone distance. Continuing to root down, send the heels forward as much as you can. It might require scooching a little bit toward the edge of the chair if that's available. Again, inhale, get longer. Feel yourself lengthen from the tail to the crown. Holding onto that chair, even pressing it down a little bit with your own hands. Lengthen it out for a half fold. Now, if your chair is super duper stable and you know it to be true, hands could slip to the shins. If that's just too much for now for stability or for your lower back, your range of motion, stay put. Last couple of breaths, kind of digging the heels down, the toes up any amount. Lengthening the hamstrings, the calves, that connection behind the knee where they meet. And also really good for our circulation, our lymphatic system. Now, any amount of this practice you're able to do is going to benefit you. So not stressing on what we're not able to do, but maybe finding a little more gratitude for what we are. Of course, easier said than done. Another breath as you rise. And a big exhale to let it go. Walk your feet back in if they were extended. Take a moment here, again, sweeping the arms out and up with your inhale. Simply bring your hands to Anjali Mudra, that prayer-like shape as you exhale. Do a couple on your own. Inhaling, expand. Exhaling, choosing to release, to relax where possible. One more breath, accessing your sankalpa, your intention. And exhaling anything stagnant, sitting around that thought, that idea. Another moment just to be here, allowing the benefits of your practice to wash over you. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Thanks for joining me. Namaste.